So I want to talk about a type of trauma we don't talk a lot about. And this could coincide with like betrayal trauma, right? So the image that I have in my head is like this perfect image of my mom, right? I had this glass painting, so to speak. That's the image in my head, this glass painting of my mom, and what I always saw. But in the back was the reality, which was so different than what was in the front, what was different from the image. And I found out about betrayals and secrets, and I found out that there's this other picture on the back of it. And when I found out that there was this other picture behind this image that I saw, it's like it shattered. And there's glass pieces everywhere. So now I'm trying to pick up the glass pieces and figure out what was the image versus what was the reality. And then where do I fit in there? Because I'm nowhere in the reality. I'm all through the image because I'm all through, like, there were always things, like I know somebody wanted something from the family, and it was always, well, go talk to Carrie. She's probably not going to let you go talk to Carrie. And I had to be the bad guy, like, no, you can't have it, no. And I had to, like, no, why are you taking things? But it wasn't, that wasn't, that shouldn't have been my responsibility as the kid. That shouldn't have been for me to say. And it really wasn't for me to say, like, what I felt. It was what I was always told, like, don't ever let so-and-so, or don't let these people, you could maybe do this, but not this. So I was always told what to do, but I had to be the one to do it, as if I'm the one that created it, or I'm the one that thought it, when it really wasn't my thoughts or my feelings or anything with me. And now that I'm stepping away from this person that I was created to help with these images of the people that I trusted and loved the most, that I find out were not what I actually was getting, there's so much healing in there, because there's so much betrayal. And it's not just this betrayal secret that I found out, because that's the big piece, right? There's this betrayal secret that I found out, but there's so much more behind that. And it's this image that I was always shown. And now every day as I'm wading through life and I'm facing things, I'm realizing that image was not, that image wasn't what the reality was. It was an image. It was what needed to be painted so everybody saw her as perfect. But she wasn't. She's not. But again, she looks perfect, and I look like the villain to everybody's mind. And for the longest time, I tried to prove I'm not the villain, I'm not the bad guy. And now I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna be me. You want to see me as a villain, see me as a villain. You want to see me. I can't be in charge of your image of me. I can only be in charge of who I am. And I'm going to put myself out there. I kind of leaned on that and thought about that today, because my mind was telling me other things. I don't know if they're true or not, but my mind was kind of telling me some possible other things that I probably missed within that image. And then I thought of my dad. Like, I wonder if my dad showed me an image that wasn't true. And it's sure, spirit fashion, my dad pops up and goes, nope, same old asshole, I'm like, you're right, Dad. Because my dad wasn't always nice. He wasn't always cheery, but you knew who my dad was. There was no hidden agenda. There was no, like, what you saw in the front of the image was what you saw in the back. There's no shattering. I just know what it was. And I still have to heal through some of that, because there were things that he did that wasn't helpful. He was an alcoholic. He escaped his demons, his torment through alcohol. So there's pieces I got to pick up from that. But as I look at the two, I'm finding for myself that's a little easier than it is with this image, because as I look at the image, it's like my whole life was a lie. My whole life got shattered in a second. And now I'm picking up the pieces, because when I shattered her image, I shattered my image, and I didn't even realize I had an image, because I didn't have a say in that image. I didn't have a say in who that person was because of all the manipulation and the gaslighting and the movement. So now I'm like picking up the pieces going, well, let me create my picture. Let me create my image of who I truly am. And let me embrace it without these false narratives, without these negative thoughts, without these things that I was taught for so long. So just my thought on healing, and anybody else going through it too, sending you so much love, because it's not an easy journey. But I do think us working together, and we can do it, we can get through it. And I think that's what we're doing, is creating a new reality, free from the images, and free from this, I want to say fakery, free from the fakery, and being true to who we are. So good luck to everybody else fighting and finding out who they are, either because you never got to really find yourself, or you were always told you were somebody that might not really fit who you are, and it was just this image that people needed you to be, or if you didn't feel safe to be yourself. So sending love to everybody, finding themselves, being their true self, finding the true self. Loves and hugs.